For This Week in Washington, I'm Brian Darling. Native Hawaiians, radical environmentalism, and overregulation are the three big issues this week in Washington. Late last year, the House passed by a large margin a bill that allows federal recognition of Native Hawaiians as a distinct group, and Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid has promised some floor time this year. This legislation would establish a governing body to represent Native Hawaiians in negotiations with the federal and state governments. Conservatives want all Americans to be treated equally and don't want special treatment for different ethnic groups. Please read Legislative Lowdown and Human Events this week for conservative issues coming up in Washington. On Tuesday, May 13th at noon, the Heritage Foundation will be hosting an event titled Green Gone Wild, Elevating Nature Above Human Rights. M. David Sterling will discuss his book that examines clever marketing and public relations schemes that elevates nature above human rights and infringes on citizens' private property rights. Conservatives do not want environmentalism to create rights for animals and plants that will trump capitalism and freedom. James Gattuso of the Heritage Foundation has written that efforts by the Federal Communications Commission, the FCC, to liberalize rules to allow radio and television stations to own newspapers are a good first step in deregulating an industry that is operating on outdated rules made over 30 years ago. Conservatives want more deregulation of the newspaper business and want rules that reflect the realities of the 21st century. Deregulation is good. That's This Week in Washington. I'll see you next week. For more information, log on to heritage.org and stay tuned next week for more news and information.